Hey, 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 good evening. We're just kind of hanging out tonight. Figured I'd give everybody a shout out and see how everybody's doing on this wonderful Friday night. It's about 5 minutes to 11 on a Friday night. I'm Joe from Plastic Addictions Anonymous. It is here in sunny South Florida at nighttime at 10:55. The temperature is 80 degrees. It's nice and muggy out there, guys. It is 11 o'clock. We're working on the F1 Camel. I'm kind of playing around with colors and hues and stuff to get the kind of green color I'm looking for the Camel box. I put the box in another place, so I really don't have it here. But I mixed up a bunch of dark paints that I think should work for what I'm trying to do here. It did not look like the other acrylics right from the box that I had were going to work, so I went ahead and put them away. I have my water ready. I have my paintbrushes out. I'm going to kind of give it a wet wash with some green overlay paint here so that I get that greenish brown look on the, airplane. So I've got some napkins here. I've got a few little tools here. I've got the decals here later on. We'll deal with that. And I got a couple of paints here and some brushes. And I brought some Q-tips with me and some water. What I'm going to attempt to do here is, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like get the water over here so I don't have to reach so far. Little napkin to wipe it off of here. I'm going to kind of because it's kind of dark here in some of these spots, I want to kind of wet it and get it really wet for the moment so I can wipe some of this little heavier stuff off. So I'm going to kind of like put water in a few spots. You can see now as I'm doing it how it's getting more green. I don't want it so green, I want it more brown, so I'm going to kind of scrub it in with water, which is what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to get the heavy spots that are way too green. I don't think that this looks too bad up here. I do have a couple of spots that I'd like to get less green, so I'm going to try, if I can't get it with the water, I'm going to try to get a little bit of really thinned out brown on it. But I'm just trying to spread it around enough to get that kind of a camo brown green look like it's got it on the box. Once I get that full look and I don't see any dark spots like I do in these corners and stuff, and I'm happy with it, I'll go ahead and put decals on it, and we'll be done with this one as well. I did notice the brackets down here came loose from me moving the wings around a lot, but that's okay. I'll tighten them back up before I go any further. It does appear that I'm able to mix once it sets for a little while. The way I'm doing this, once the paint sets for a little while and it hardens back up, once I get it wet, it does appear that it does want to spread a little bit easier once it's really wet. So you may have to really get some water on it to get it to spread around and do what you want it to do and thin it out once it dries. But if you do it right and you get it damp enough and it does move around a lot, it should look very, very much like just a camo green and brown mix rather than having stripes of a darker color in it. Um, Again, I'm trying just to knock down the heavy spots, like right here on the wing. I'm going to kind of like knock that down too. All along here it's too heavy if you ask me. Up here by the cockpit it's too heavy, so I got to knock all those down. So that's basically what I'm working on here. I threw a bunch of green and brown on it earlier today, and it kind of did what I wanted it to do, and it kind of gave it that green tone up the top, but it's still a little bit too splotchy for me. I want it more of a even colors. I don't want any splotchy greens. I guess it really doesn't matter. Back then they were just, a lot of these were just, this one wasn't, but I do have a 1918 RE8 that I'm going to be doing soon, and this is basically brown. Because it is made out of balsa wood and real 2x4s and real kind of wooden stuff, and the engine and stuff like that is mounted in there. So I'll be doing this kit next live very soon. Maybe not next, I didn't mean to say next, but live. I will be definitely doing that one live. Again, if I can't get what I'm looking for by scrubbing this a little bit with the brown and the green together, I do have my mixture of brown and green that I can go ahead and try to go over this with a little bit. But I do want to kind of smooth out the green best I can. So I'm just kind of rubbing it along and just kind of pushing it through. I don't want to break anything, so I'm kind of like trying to be a little easy on it. So I'm not really pressing hard on the brush. I just want the brush to do most of the work. And the water. The water should do a lot of the work. So I'm just kind of like trying to push it off the back side of it. So as you see this green in here, right down in here, I'm sure is where I'm trying to get to. See all this green down? What's up, Dan?
Are you live?
Yes, honey, I'm live. You hear me talking? What's up? Okay, you need something?
Yeah,
Okay. Couple of minutes, I'll fill it up. No worries. You're good. Alright, so that was my son. He's in there playing games, and I guess he didn't realize I was live. He doesn't really matter. He comes out and talks to me, and I'll deal with what he's got to deal with. But that was my son. My wife's asleep. Like I said, it's about 11 o'clock now on Friday night, and he's coming out and... Oh, no, he's not playing games because his time is up at 11, so that's what he was telling me. He was telling me he's off the games. That's what he was trying to tell me. So, yeah, so I did get this green over here to kind of lighten up, as you can see. Eventually, it'll lighten up even more the more I play with it. See, the more I play with it, the more it's going to do what I want it to do and mix with the paints. I got a little too hectic over here with the brush, and I knocked some of the brown paint off, so I'm going to have to retouch that back up. But it's kind of doing what I want it to do. I guess the more I move it around, the more I play with it, the more I'm liking it. The more I'm removing of the green off of it and just leaving bits of green on it, and then spreading them around. It's slowly but surely coming into show what I want it to look like. Like I said, this heavy green, where it fell into these holes and cracks, is what I'm trying to get out. So, without having to drop a whole bunch of more brown on there. So, and that's just a bit of a too dark of a green back here for me anyway. Looks more like a forest in the sky. You'll think it's a tree flying along in there as opposed to looking at an airplane that's coming through the clouds. So I'm just going back and forth on the green, just a little bit at a time. If I need to scrub a little harder, I will probably go ahead and take, one of my, oops, didn't mean to do all that. One of my Q-tips, dip it in the water, and just kind of put my airplane wing down on the edge a little bit and just kind of scrub it a little harder with that. That does seem to get it off sometimes a little more, a little better. I also want the water to kind of drain off of it as I'm doing it, so that it drains towards the front or the back, so that it's not puddling in one place again and drying all green and hard. I'm just working it slowly but surely, as you can see by the end of the... It's coming off slowly. So it will definitely blend in eventually. So you just keep working it. You know, these little kits, I'm trying to be really soft, but this is the very first 172 kit I've ever done. All my other kits have been bigger than this. Everything I've ever done. I've never done anything this small. So I'm also trying not to manhandle it. I'm trying to do it nice and easy. But at the same time, I need to put a little bit of backbone into these scrubbing so that it gets the big parts of the paint off, but only leaves little streaks. And then I can move those little streaks around a bit. It does seem to be working, as I said, slowly but surely. You know, slowly and steadily, it'll come loose and it'll come off. Again, I'm going to take it off the corners here, like I said. That's what we're going to be doing here. Now, the top wing is almost perfect the way I want it. It's definitely got the perfect shade of green on it. There's one or two little spots I might play with later on. But for the most part, it's just right here on this edge. And I think I kind of like the way the top looked out, the way the top wing came out looking. I may go ahead and leave the bottoms of them solid brown, unless I put it on a dio. And then if I do put it on a dio, I'm gonna go ahead and do the whole plane again. Make it look like the greenish color to make sure you can see it well. Okay, so I want to get where I was so I don't hurt anything. Here we go. So now I can move back and forth without hurting anything. Alright, so I've got my index finger on the back of the wing. I've got on the back of the rudder. I've got my thumb on the blade so I don't move the blade or hurt the blade. I've got my middle finger on my left hand on the bottom base wing, and I'm just holding it into that space, kind of like a little bit of a soft clamp. I'm not putting any pressure. It's just kind of resting on my middle finger, so that it doesn't move around and go anywhere. But like I said, the more you scrub on that color, the more that color is going to come off. So, as you see, so you just keep working it until you see the light at the end of the green, the brown at the end of the green, should I say? So that's basically what I'm looking for, is the brown underneath the green. I want it just to show through just enough. And I'll keep working on this day by day. This is just a really quick 15-20 minute video to show you guys what I'm working on. I'm doing nothing of major proportion. I'm still trying to finish up my little 172 here I got from Domingo, which I appreciate you, brother. Trying to make it look as close to box as I can. I'll be working on this for a while, probably about another week or so, trying to get the paint just right the way I want it to look. And then I'll put the decals on it, and once the decals are on, I'll come underneath and I'll paint the engine. And once I'm done with painting the engine, I will do the wheels and tires, and then I will do the bombs, and then she is totally done. She'll go up on a shelf, and when I get the other one done, the RE8, once I get it done, I will be putting them on little pieces of wire and on a styrofoam stand of some sort, making some kind of a stand or something. I know you guys are probably saying, "Oh, put it in a diode," but I don't do diodes, and I'm not. I don't think I'm going to be that good at it. So I'm probably not going to try diodes for a while. I'll stick with my future builds of different kinds of things. I'd like to do a train. I think that would be pretty cool. And my buddy Samuel Stokes, he does beautiful cranes. I think I want to do a crane. But the ones that I do in my size are so dang expensive, man. Even some of the really nice tow trucks that I'd really like to build here for you guys, they're like $400. Some of them are going for. That's craziness if you ask me for plastic. I mean, I love the hobby too, guys, but come on. $400 for plastic? For $400 you could manufacture this thing yourself. Heck, I bet you for $400 you could go to a plastic company and say, "Hey, can you do me a favor and mold this for me?" And they do it. You know, take your own blueprints. I don't know. But I'm just rattling off here while I'm scrubbing paint. So as you can see, slowly but surely on the side here, the green part is wearing off. Let me get where's my pointer? The green stuff here is wearing off. If you notice right in here, the green is wearing off. So I'm literally getting the content of what I want with a light green tint to the brown all over it. I'm going to redo all this. So this is trial and error. It's my first one. I will reset up the brackets for the top of the wing. But I'm going to keep going on it a little bit at a time. I just want to show you guys what I'm up to and what I'm working on. I will post this to the Model Asylum eventually, but this is basically what I'm doing. I'm trying to make this piece down here. I'm trying to make that match this up here. So now make all this match. Once I make all this match, it'll give me my green color that I want. Just light green, but you can still see the brown in it. But I got to get all this green back into brown back into order, and I got to get all this green off of here and here. So I got to get all this green down, and then I got to get all this down. So what I'm gonna end up probably doing is wetting it and smoothing it all out and mixing myself kind of like my own personal little bit of a green once I get enough of it off, and just going back over it with a light greenish brown color or a darker greenish brown color, so it stands out as the coat. Then I'm going to go in here with my little tiny brushes, and I'm probably going to do the guy's hat. Probably going to do his jacket like a darker brown, so because the flight jackets they all wear with darker browns most of the time, with little fringes around the top. His hat I think is going to be like a marine green as well. The gun out front will be a silver and a red tip, so go match it with the engine so you don't really see the tips off the engine. It's kind of like an eye distraction. So, and I'll probably do the blade. I have to look at it, but if I'm not mistaken, they were also made out of a specific kind of wood. So I'll have to look that up. And the engine will be red. The tire rims will be red. The tires themselves will be black. The bombs on the bottom down here that I have to do down here on the bottom down here, I'll paint those. I think those were also the color of the plane to prevent the enemy from seeing them. So, but that's basically it. I just wanted to do a few minute video. Like I said, 14-15 minutes at a time. This is Joe from Plastic Addictions Anonymous. Come check out our Facebook channels, Plastic Addictions Anonymous and the Model Asylum. You can email me if you're looking to get a hold of me at plasticaddiction@gmail.com. That's all one word, plasticaddiction@gmail.com. My private admin email is joehudsonpaa2021@gmail.com. That would link my admin email directly to this channel. So you can get a hold of me directly there too, or you can send any comments, requests, or information or requests for information that you need to the Plastic Addictions Gmail. Guys, everybody have a good evening tonight. I will try to pop back on in a little while. I'm going to clean up the mess that I made here. But you see what I'm working on. We'll still be working on later on. And like I said, in the next couple of days, next couple of videos, next couple of 15-20 minute videos, I will probably go ahead and start doing the decals because I'll be done with the plane. And then we'll put it up on the finished shelf. I'll bring the Corvette back down because on the Corvette I still have to do the reds and the yellows. So I want to get that done. And if I want to put a few Corvette decals on it as well. Again, this is Joe Hudson from South Florida. It is 11:50. It is actually time now is 11:11 on a South Florida evening, Eastern Standard Time. This is Joe from Plastic Addictions Anonymous. Like, subscribe, hit that bell so you guys get notifications of when I do stuff like this and do other builds. Again, tonight we're working on, as you can see on your screen, but we're working on the SOP with F1 Camel from Revell. It's a 172 kit. I'll be back probably in another 20-30 minutes just to do a little bit more work. And that's it for now, guys. Thanks very much, guys, for coming, and I'll talk to y'all later.